What is up? What is going on, everybody? Wanted to jump on here and go live. And first of all, before we get too far in, let me make sure. Let's get live where we need to be live. Let me get this thing popping. All right, cool, perfect, awesome. So I had a friend reach out to me today, and he had some questions as far as his fitness journey. He's just getting back into things. And instead of just replying to him, his question was really good. And I figured a lot of other people could use this. So before I even get too deep into this live, let me tell you who this is for, because I don't want you wasting any of your time. So if you're just getting started in your fitness journey, or you're just coming back, took a little time off, or maybe you never even started your fitness journey. You've been wanting to get started. Maybe you wanted to lose some weight. Maybe you wanted to put on some muscle. You just wanted to get back into the swing of things. You wanted to feel better about yourself, whether it was just for health reasons, whether it's physically you just wanted to look better, you wanted to feel better, whatever it was. This video is for you, and also anyone that might be stuck. So if you're on your journey, maybe you hit a plateau. You're not getting the results that you would like to get. You're not progressing like you would like to progress, and you want to speed things up. You want to, every single week be moving in the right direction instead of like most people do. Some weeks you do good, some weeks you don't. Some weeks you do good, some weeks you don't. And that can be extremely frustrating. So if you fit in any of those categories, well, then this live is probably for you. I want to break it down. I want to make it super simple, and I want to put it in actionable steps. So steps that you can take after watching this video and immediately put into practice. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'll say is a lot of people put way too much emphasis on the scale, right? So the scale is just one way that you can track your progress, and it's exactly that. It's just to track your progress. Nobody carries a scale around with them and sets it on the ground and steps on it and be like, man, you're not going to believe how much I weigh. Like, nobody does that. So the likelihood, unless you have a coach or someone that's monitoring you, no one's going to know your actual weight unless you tell them. Now, they are going to physically see you. So one thing to remember is scale is just one way to track your progress. There's other ways to track your progress, and I would recommend you use all of these, because sometimes the scale isn't going to give you the information that you need, and a lot of times it can be deceptive. It's just going to give you false information. So yes, use the scale. This is how you use the scale. Weigh yourself once a week, the same time, wearing the same clothes every single week. That cuts down on any variables, so you can see exactly what your progress is, and nothing stands in the way, like, oh, over here you had one kind of pants on, and over here you had another kind, and over here you had your pants up, another one, they're below your belly button. Like, don't do any of the funny business. Just take the same picture, the same an exact same pose, the exact same day. All right, so that's one. Weigh yourself. Second thing you want to do, weigh yourself. The second thing you want to do is take pictures. So you have the scale, you have pictures. Also, another good thing to track is your body fat, not BMI. So body fat and BMI is two completely different things. So if you go to the doctor, they're going to look at your BMI. The reason I don't recommend using BMI is because if you're lifting weights, which I recommend you lift weights, muscle can throw that off. So for instance, I'm 6 foot, 226 pounds. If you looked at my BMI, it would say I was morbidly obese. Well, I'm obviously not morbidly obese, but I do carry much more muscle than probably most people my size, and that's why that fits. So I would recommend using body fat, not BMI. And then also, if you can get someone, or if you want to do your own measurements, do your measurements. So you want to measure your chest, you want to measure around your waist. What your waist is considered your belly button. So that's really how you find your waist, and that's also the most accurate way to get the measurement for your waist. So you're going to wrap the measuring tape around to your belly button. Chest is nipple to nipple. Your hips is going to be the widest part. So pretty much usually the middle of your butt is going to be for your hips, and then do your thigh. You don't need to do both thighs. Oh, and then you're going to do your bicep as well. So where you're gonna measure your bicep is in between your elbow. Pretty much it's gonna be the middle or the biggest part of your bicep. So get your measurement. So you have your weight from the scale, you have your before and after pictures, so pictures that you're taking, you take those on a weekly basis. Body fat, if you have access to some machine that does your body fat, and then also your measurements. Those are 4 good things to track actual progress. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, how do you start? So if you're brand new or you're getting started, like how do you do this whole weight loss thing? I'm going to speak specifically on weight loss, more so because more people are trying to cut their body fat than probably anything else, right? That's what most people are trying to do. It's not even necessarily lose weight. They want to drop their body fat because you want to keep your muscle. So one of the things that I would recommend, strongly recommend, and here's the deal. I'm telling you everything that I would tell one of my paying clients. So this is exactly the routine I would go on with anybody that I was actually coaching. So this is tried and proven methods. This is not theory. This is not a maybe. Because when you do this the way I'm telling you to do it, if you take this approach, there's no guesswork. Like sometimes people are hoping and praying that they lose weight and hoping and praying that they reach their goals. If you do what I'm telling you to do, there is no hoping and praying. It's without a shadow of a doubt, this works every single time. There's zero guesswork. So the very first thing you want to do is go download MyFitnessPal. You don't have to do the paid version. You can use the free version. That works just as good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to track everything you eat or drink on a daily basis for 1 week. All right, so everything you eat or drink, and when I say everything, I mean everything. It does you no good not to put something in there. So if you have cookies late night, put the cookies in there, right? If you have a beer, put the beer in there. If you have some wine, whatever you eat or drink, it goes in MyFitnessPal. You're going to do that for 1 week. Eat exactly what you normally would eat. Don't try to be, don't change anything. There's no need to change anything. What you're doing is you're just tracking everything for a week. Once you've tracked everything for a week, you're going to find your average daily calorie consumption. All right, so you're going to find your average daily calorie consumption. Super simple math, how to do it. You're going to add up each day how many calories you consumed and then divide that number by 7. So that's going to give you the average of how many calories you did per day. Let's just say your number was 2,000. At the end of the week, you're going to weigh yourself and compare that to your weight at the beginning of the week. If you lost weight, perfect. You found your daily calorie intake. So if your number was 2,000, and you lost weight, now you know in order for you to lose weight, you're going to have to consume 2,000 calories per day, and then you will continue that same progress. Let's say, for instance, you do it, your number is 2,000 calories per day, but your weight stayed exactly the same. So since your weight stayed exactly the same, you're going to have to decrease the amount of calories that you took in for the week. So if your number was 2,000, you want to decrease it by 200 to 300 calories. So let's just say you choose to go 300 calories. So 2,000 minus 300. The following week, you're going to consume 1,700 calories per day. You're going to do the same routine that week. So you're going to do 1,700 calories the next week. If you lose weight, great, you found your number. If you haven't lost weight, you're going to do exactly the same thing, minus another between 200 and 300 calories until you get to your sweet spot. If you go through your initial week, your first week, and you've gained weight, right? So you consume 2,000 calories a day, but at the end of the week, you've gained weight. Well, in that case, you want to decrease the amount of calories you consume between 300 and 400 calories. Okay. And then again, you would continue that process until you hit the sweet spot where you started losing weight. And then again, continue to do that. Now, that does not mean that number will not change. As a matter of fact, that number is most certainly going to change. So I strongly recommend continue to track everything you're eating in MyFitnessPal so you know exactly what you're consuming, because what you don't track, you can't change. You're just guessing at things. You're guessing, well, I kind of ate good or I ate really good. Trust me, you're consuming calories and you're consuming things you don't know that you're consuming. So make sure you're tracking. And I would advise continue tracking. Now, I already know some of you guys are like, okay, cool, no problem. But a lot of you guys are going to say, I don't like to track, or that's too much work, or you're already coming up with a whole host of excuses why you can't do this. Well, you have a choice, and that's cool. I respect that. You can keep guessing and trying to hit your goal, or you can do this uncomfortable thing that maybe you don't want to do. Maybe it's hard because it's a new habit. Do it anyway. Like if you really want the results, it's not that it's not that serious and it's not that difficult. Because if you don't have those numbers, if you don't know what you're consuming, now you're just guessing, right? You're just guessing. The next thing that I would advise is get your body moving. When I say get your body moving, you should be moving your body I recommend 3 to 5 days per week. I don't care what you do. If you want to go walk your dogs, if you want to go cycling, if you want to do jujitsu, if you want to do hikes, if you cycle, you name it, it doesn't matter. Just get your body moving. Exercise is a bonus. People lean way too much on exercise. As a society, we just lean way too much on exercise. And again, anybody that knows me, and if you don't know me, I'm a big advocate of exercising. I'm a big advocate of working out, lifting weights, all of that stuff. But that's not going to be the thing that's going to really move the needle. What's really going to move the needle is what you put in your body. That's going to move the needle the most. So if you're looking to dramatically speed up your results, if you're looking to dramatically increase your results, like I'm talking about, you want fast results, the biggest way to move the needle is going to be through your diet. It's not going to be from your workout. All of you guys watching this, whether you're watching this live or you watch it on a replay, you all know people that they go to the gym and they religiously go to the gym, and they've been going to the gym for years consistently. And they look exactly the same. For me, that would be the most frustrating thing ever. You're going to the gym, you're putting in the work, you're consistently going, and you're not getting the results. Like it's frustrating. So again, the most important thing is going to be your diet. I wouldn't even say exercise is even second. Probably most people get stuck or hung up or hit plateaus for, I would say, not getting enough rest. That's another big thing that people underestimate, the power of just actually getting rest, especially if you're getting back into working out. Your body needs rest more than ever before because you're putting it under a lot of stress, which leads me to the next thing that causes people to hit plateaus, that causes people not to get results, and it's stress. A lot of people are under a lot of stress. A lot of people don't have a way to manage their stress. So they have very high stress levels. And if you have very high stress levels, you're going to hit a plateau. I can 100% with certainty say you will hit plateaus. Even if you're doing everything else right, you're hitting the gym, you're eating what you need to eat, but you're stressed, you're probably going to hit a plateau, and you definitely will not get the results that you want to get. So those are the things that I would put my energy and focus into not only if I was getting started or I was on my journey. Those are the things that I focus on. And then when you focus on those things, and I'll do a quick recap of everything. So you're going to focus on what you're eating. So you're going to do that by tracking your calories. You can do it. And there's plenty other apps. It's not just MyFitnessPal. That's just the one I happen to use with my clients and myself. But there's other apps. Use whatever app you want, something to track your calorie intake. Make sure you're tracking your progress, and you're going to track your progress with the scale, pictures, body fat, and measurements. And then again, get your body moving. I'd recommend 3 to 5 days a week. If you can hit 5, great. That's going to be amazing. Obviously, you're going to get better results if you're doing 5 days as opposed to 3. But if you're starting from scratch, if you haven't worked out in years, there's no need for you to jump to 5. Do whatever you can do consistently. If you say, I'm going to do 5, but you can't do 5 consistently, but you can do 3. I'd rather one of my clients do 3 days consistently than do 5 occasionally. Right? So whatever your number is that you can do consistently, that's the number that you want to stick with. And then so just as a couple reminders, don't put so much emphasis on the scale. The scale is just one unit. It's just one way to measure your progress. There could be weeks where you're doing everything right. And I see this all the time where a client, they're doing everything right. They're eating what they need to eat. You know, they're hitting the gym, their stress levels are low, like they're doing everything that they need to be, but the scale doesn't move. It's very common, super common, because it might not be the scale. You could be putting on weight, you could be losing inches. There's a whole series of things that it could be. So understand, you know, because sometimes people will come to me and they'll say, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I've been stuck. I'm not losing any weight. In all actuality, they don't mean they're not losing any weight. They don't mean they're not making progress. They're just not making the progress that they want to make. Let me explain what I mean by that. If you're losing 0.3 pounds per week, you're making progress. You're moving in the right direction. Now, you may not be moving in the direction that you want to move at the speed you want to move, but you're moving in the right direction. You're not stuck. There's a big difference between stuck. Here's what stuck means. Every single week when you weigh exactly the same. That is being stuck. That is a true, what some people would like to call a plateau. I always tell people, if you're stuck for more than 2 weeks, something is wrong. Something's off. Something's not right. Unless you're in your last 10 to 15 pounds. If you only have like 10 to 15 pounds to lose, it's extremely challenging. That's when it's extremely challenging. But if you have more than 15 pounds to lose, you should never get stuck for more than 2 weeks. And if you are, you're doing something wrong. You've missed something along the way. So if anybody sees this and you have any questions or there's anything that you would like me to do a video on or just whatever, drop it in the comments. Hopefully you guys got some value from this. And I wish you luck. I wish you luck in your journey. Not that you need the luck, because you're capable of doing whatever you want to do, whatever you set your mind to do. But there's a lot of roadblocks that can stand in your way if you choose to let them. Just don't let them. But let's go. Let's crush it. Let's crush the week. Peace.